having the rule of law, there won't be peace in the country. So what am I saying in essence is this: there is no how. What we want to relate it to the present government now. Nigeria has gone beyond what we can repair within maybe 4 years. I'm not saying, I'm not a politician anyway, but to be frank, we need to give the president more time. Listen, we need to give him more time. Even we need to give him more time. As you can see what is happening around. Okay, we don't have. How are you sure is the one destroying it?
President, the question now is, hold on, who's ready to talk? Has the president done anything wrong not to take the second term?
To me, the president has not done anything wrong. Only that, listen, those that are benefiting from the treasury of this country are trying to hinder him from coming back again. This man is really working, but despite the enemy of the economy, the enemies are. Before I started, I said if I am entitled.
Measure one thing. Measure one thing.
This man cannot say that.
Listen.
This man doesn't have anything to say. He cannot say anything. He cannot say anything more. The process is not working. We cannot.
Let me go.
Forget about this. People are dying. People are dying, and this man is telling us present working. Which work in the work? It's not working. What is going on? You should work. The present is not working. No. The present will not stop working.
Very interesting here. Can you come please?
You see, before I started the interview, this guy, I don't know.
I am not.
Before I started the interview, I think I made a point that if the Constitution, oh God, before I started the interview, my first sentence was, if I am entitled to my opinion, I am not.
Listen, you. Are you young?
Are you going to edit it? Let me just.
You are going to say your own
I am not a politician. I am not interested in politics. But the rule of law says I am entitled to my opinion. My opinion never supersedes anybody's opinion. My opinion is my own personal opinion, which I can say. Anybody, you are entitled to your opinion. But if I am going to say, I think Nigeria has gone beyond what one man will do within 4 years. It's not a magician. We don't expect to see a magic.
Okay. What do you have to say concerning the second term of President Muhammadu Buhari?
Well, I will advise him. Order.
No, my Igbo.
Order.
They are not serious.
I will advise this government of Buhari, even Buhari himself, not to dare come back to this country.
Sir, listen to me. Let us be sincere. We voted our president because he's a man of integrity and he's a honest man. Hello? Are you hearing me? This man said that we need to give him time for 4 years. Okay, are you telling me say for 4 years he cannot be able to bring one thing? Sir, Obasanjo give us this thing. This is what is my whole here. Obasanjo bring it. This is Obasanjo one. Are you hearing me, sir? That's Obasanjo. Obasanjo bring it. Sir, are you hearing me, sir? Jonathan give us Shopee. This one I never see anyone now. Okay. Tell me anyone. I said, what can you say to tackle this?
Let me tell you something. Listen. Violence cannot stop the problem of this nation.
Okay.
We cannot fight ourselves to solve the problem. The only remedy to solve this problem is to be patient. Listen, patient as in anything you are doing.
Others to live.
We are not going to die. Nobody will die. Because nobody is ready to sacrifice any member of his family. If anybody should die, if anybody should die, that is one home will cry. If anybody should die, one home will cry. So we don't need to die. We don't need to be violent. What we need is understanding, patience, tolerance. I know the country is coming back. We are going to benefit, we are going to enjoy what he is doing. Even we might not see anything right in this regime, but I can say, that was the reason I said I am entitled to my opinion. I'm not speaking for anybody. I am not a politician, I am a business person. But I cannot disregard you calling me for an interview. That was the reason. We are not to fight. What I'm saying that they should be patient for Buhari is what?
Say your opinion, man. Don't listen to them.
Hello, my fellow Nigerian men. What I'm trying to say, whether we like it or not, our president opened his mouth and said that the youth are lazy.
Can you remove your glasses so that people can see you?
Our president opened his mouth to say that the youth are lazy. It's a wrong statement. Right from his military era, I was created by them, I was born by them. I haven't seen any company. Right from his military era when he was the head of state, when he built and employed the youth when the youth refused to work. And he went to the outside country and said that the youth are lazy. And the same youth is the one who voted him to be in power. That is a wrong statement.
Okay, I can see you are boiling since afternoon or since morning. What do you have to say?
You have to ask me what to say because I can't just be talking for nothing.
Why? Do you have any problem with second term of President Muhammadu?
I have a big problem with that. Because look at this, nothing is working in the country. The country is at the verge of disintegration. And you want this man to come back? You can't just see the killing in Taraba, Zamfara, Plateau, Benue, and even the killing in all the southern states. It's too much. Everywhere killings. And his body language supports the killing. For 4 years, nothing to show for it. When he was there, when he was campaigning for election, he said he will reduce the price of fuel.
When somebody calls you a fool, you are not yet a fool until you accept you are a fool. When somebody says you are foolish, you are not foolish yet until you are doing an action of a foolish person. So why will you be so mad about him saying you are a lazy person or what up? You know what you are doing in your different endeavors. You know what you are doing in your different businesses. So why will you take that as an excuse?
The people, giving voice to the voiceless.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will free give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans.
We should be praying for him.
is a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
So what is 60 Minutes with Angela all about? It's not an interview. I like to think it's a conversation between two people making the news, people who are in the news, and those who become the news. And the whole idea is to inform, to educate, or to clarify, as the case may be. It is an art getting people to answer the questions that everyone is thinking in their minds. And that's what we try to do on 60 Minutes with Angela. I ask all the questions that everyone's thinking about and no one wants to voice. All the questions you always wanted to ask, you get those answers on 60 Minutes with Angela. Every week on this station, 60 Minutes with Angela, getting answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Hi, I am Anete Patrick, host of your program Abuja Today, that brings you highlights of happenings in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory from the Office of the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
I appeal to all of us citizens, leaders, politicians, and all to support this team to be able to restore the Abuja Master Plan.
Through the streets that involves every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, and every youth on the streets, unfolding of happenings in the nation's capital territory.
Our challenge here is kidnapping, and the secret is there. It's a very short journey. You don't have to go as far as Abaji before you know what is happening in Kuji.
All of us, we don't know, in short, we don't know where to put head, because definitely our children, they are hungry.
So join me at this time on CoreTV as we take you on a tour on Nigerian seats of power.
Democracy allows for fair hearing. This is reckless. This is ungodly.
When news break, we engage experts in critical analysis.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
This administration will succeed and succeed well.
You cannot be running a 4-year tenure like you are running a 20-year tenure.
He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism.
Then it gets controversial.
They have a right to their opinion.
Can we, very interesting gentlemen, just hold on.
I am about principle and I am about fortune.
Now, you see, let me
say this.
So that our soldiers will be free, we should also ask for justification.
Core Digest, your #1 program for current issues.
CoreTV News now live on all Androids.
Hello and welcome. This is CoreTV.
Download CoreTV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
This is what
infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
There is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television Thursdays 2:30 p.m., NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m., and CoreTV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
From magistrate to high court, from court of appeal to the Supreme Court,
we bring you the rulings, judgments on cases involving personalities, institutions, both low and high in the society.
The learned trial judge said he has not even read the processes.
From the way they are going, they will spend 20 days on a witness. I've never seen that kind of proceedings in my life.
Join Basil Okafor on Legal Scope every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. and the repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Legal Scope brings you activities in the judiciary, updating you on in and out of court proceedings. Join me for updates on Legal Scope on CoreTV News.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans. We should be praying for him. He's a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The people giving voice to the voiceless. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans. We should be praying for him. He's a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Listen, I am just being plain. Okay, you're not plain. I'm just being plain. And being plain as in, if you want to plant, let's say you want to eat a corn, you have to make ridges. You have to plant before harvesting. You cannot expect in a day that you make ridges, you are going to harvest that very day. That is why I'm saying that.
Are you saying that Nigeria should be patient?
I want to say, if the Constitution says, I am.
Buhari's son has a bank of 17 million. Buhari's son has a bank of 17 million. If Buhari's son has a bank of 17 million, is he patient? Buhari's son has a bank, power bank of 17 million. Is he patient? The other day, I browsed through the internet. I saw a watch. Aisha Buhari is wearing. They say it's 17 million. They don't have patience. There's no patience from our leader. We are tired of patience. We don't want again. We want to change the changer.
Most of the leaders we have, they are criminal according to their record. So, and me, I'm voting because of history. I'm not just voting. So for me, I believe if you have a pregnant, you take a long time before you come out. So 4 years is not enough to deal with 16 years.
So you believe 4+4 is 8?
In government, it may not be 8, but in mass, it's 8.
So you see Buhari becoming the next president in
He will do well. He will do well. We just have to hold on. He will do well. He will perform. He will do well. You clean our chairs when we vote him again. That's my own opinion. And I see him as a real leader. So he's a positive leader. For now, we don't have another positive leader. So we have only one chance as Buhari, to my own reason, is the best choice opinion. And for the Biafra people, they should hold on. If they are tired, they should leave Lagos and go to Biafra.
I want to challenge this man for this. Why? I want to challenge this man. Why? No, it's getting very interesting here on the street. That's your opinion. What do you have to say concerning that? Hey, sir, this man make a comment. He said that if I want to go to Biafra, I should leave Lagos. Sir, tomorrow, I don't need to leave Lagos because I'm a Biafra. Sir, I'm not afraid because my father fought for it. And my father died. And I come out again and begin to fight the same cause. Because I never seen Nigeria as one. Nothing bring us, nothing show that we are one. Because there's a tribalism. Okay, this man that is standing here that tells you if I want to go, may I go. If he go in Papa's house, he not go to sleep. I know him, he's not from West.
I'll be able to sleep. I'm not even abusing them. I'm giving them caution. I said they should hold on. If you watch my comment, I said they should hold on. But if they can't hold on, they should go to Lagos. They should leave Lagos and go to home. Biafra start from home. Their side. You understand me? Biafra is not in Lagos. And that's not abuse. I'm telling them they should hold on to enjoy together with us. Because this government, you have to give him time.
What are you doing? Okay, what are you doing that will make me to be a Nigeria? Tell me what will make me to remain as a Nigeria.
No pain, no pains, no sweet. You have to feel the pain. Formally, we are enjoying what we don't work for. People are stealing fuel and giving you fuel. Something you don't deserve.
I am not living in Ikorodu.
Black market.
I am from Ikorodu.
So now we have a government that will
you are telling me that you people are the people that are stealing in Ikorodu.
It's news. I'm talking about news. So what I'm saying is that we need discipline. We need discipline. You understand me now? And he is a leader. If you want to talk about him, you have to watch his history. You don't just tell him you should get away. It's an insult to use get away for the president. Because some people are using that language.
Sir, I am not insulting the president. Listen to me, sir. I am not insulting the president. Sir, I am not insulting the president. I am here now because I am not a small baby. I am here when you come as a military man. Hey, the man that called Jakonde awarded metro line in the whole Lagos state. When the Mr. President take over now, he abolished it. And he paid them money, and those companies now go, and they never even know any one thing on the ground. After 30 years later, he come down to the commission bus stop at the Keja. It's not a shame. Okay, hold on, sir, hold on. Let me see the Shagari announced authority measure. Shagari announced authority measure. He overthrew the government, elected government, and at last. You still come again now to become a democratic president and some authority matter which we were supposed to suffer for 30 years ago. We can't suffer it now. If you say allow us to suffer it in terms of Shagari, if I don't do over, people know that yes, this is what we need to face. You said the man now is not do wrong, do well, and you overthrow him. And now you come again and don't bring us into the suffer.
Let me put you on a post now. What do you have to say concerning what he has raised?
Okay. Well, he's talking about overthrow. The history of overthrow in Nigeria, they started first. They're the one, we don't know what is overthrow in Nigeria before. But I will not name the tribe, but I'll just use my proverb. They teach us overthrow. We don't know what is overthrow in Nigeria history. They are the one that brought overthrow. When you talk about overthrow, this is the same people that they are saying they want to go. Let me use that language because we are Nigerians. So, you understand me? He's saying about overthrow. That's why I say we don't understand overthrow before they brought overthrow. I'm talking about the people that are saying they want to left Nigeria. They brought the history of overthrow. So what I'm saying is now, for now, we have out of 5 choice or 10 choice, Buhari is still the best because of the history. Because of the history, he have a good history. Formerly, refinery is the one that formally according to the history. So I'm voting for history. I'm not voting for might. So Buhari is my candidate.
It's your candidate?
It's my candidate. I'm not a politician, but it's my candidate.
Please, my brother, as we are one Nigeria, why, if I want to travel out, why must I enter motor to come and enter pleasure to travel out? Why?
And the time we one Nigeria.
As we are one Nigeria.
Yes. No.
Is it any offense if I can travel from my place to abroad?
Is it same?
Till I come Lagos, or I go to Abuja
or Kano. And the time is Nigeria.
We are one Nigeria. Why, if my cargo come, I cannot go and claim the cargo in Port Harcourt or Warri or Calabar?
It didn't start today.
Listen.
It didn't start today.
Hold on. No. Listen.
Let him answer your question.
Tell me why.
Sir, I love your question. That's what we are saying about corruption. We said why, instead of you to come to Lagos. Lagos is just the key of excellence. Everything is done in Lagos. So now, Buhari is now trying to tell you that everybody should go and develop his state. You understand me? Your cargo will be moving in your state if you develop your state.
Listen, try to understand my question. I said why? We are, listen.
If you can compare Lagos with the entire country, you will see that Lagos is moving. But the entire country is not moving. We need people that can drive this country to greater heights. Thank God Buhari tested it before. We expect now things could have changed for better. But we're still at a stationary position. I think we need to do more. He has what we call integrity. And there's a difference between integrity and leadership. If you have integrity, you might have a personal integrity. That does not metamorphose into leadership. But eventually, if you are a leader, you have integrity because people will follow you. And leadership means influence. And leadership influence can either be positive or negative. That's why we have the likes of Boko Haram, the terrorists. Because their leaders have integrity. That's why they can trust them for a certain level. That's why they are loyal to them. So the problem is not just Buhari. The problem is that he presently does not have the capacity, the leadership skill to take us to the next level.
There is nothing wrong in second time of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari. As we are talking right now, I believe what is worrying Nigerians is impatience. If Nigeria can exercise a little patience with him, if he come back second time, the fellow Nigeria will enjoy. Buhari came to power to sanitize. A lot of problem has been made before he came to power. So there is need for Nigeria to exercise patience with him so he can correct all the anomaly that the previous governments they've done. That is only what I say in the system. So you believe in Buhari? I believe too much in Buhari. He can do it. He's tested, trusted, and reliable.
The people, giving voice to the voiceless.
Wow, I see they out on the streets. Well, it's getting very, very interesting ahead of the 2019 elections. Well, it is expected that the part to make decision lies in the hands of the people. Well, go out there, cast your votes come 2019 election. Do not sell your votes. Till I come your way again with another bumper package of your daily program, The People. I remain your indefatigable advocate for the people, Emmanuel Ajayi. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. Bye for now. Omo, it's not easy today. God bless you.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans. We should be praying for him. He's a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The People, giving voice to the voiceless.
So what is 60 Minutes with Angela all about?
It's not an interview. I like to think it's a conversation between two people making the news, people who are in the news, and those who become the news. And the whole idea is to inform, to educate, or to clarify, as the case may be. It is an art getting people to answer the questions that everyone is thinking in their minds. And that's what we try to do on 60 Minutes with Angela. I ask all the questions that everyone's thinking about and no one wants to voice. All the questions you always wanted to ask, you get those answers on 60 Minutes with Angela. Every week on this station, 60 Minutes with Angela, getting answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Hi, I am Anita Patrick, host of your program Abuja Today, that brings you highlights of happenings in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory from the Office of the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
I appeal to all of us citizens, leaders, politicians, and all to support this team to be able to restore the Abuja Master Plan.
To the streets that involves every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, and every youth on the streets, unfolding of happenings in the nation's capital territory.
Our challenge here is kidnapping, and the secret is there. It's a very short journey. You don't have to go as far as Abaji before you know what is happening in Kuji.
All of us, we don't know, in short, we don't know where to put head, because definitely our children, they are hungry.
So join me at this time on CoreTV as we take you on a tour on Nigerian seats of power.
Democracy allows for fair hearing. This is reckless. This is ungodly.
When news break, we engage experts in critical analysis.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
This administration will succeed and succeed well. You cannot be running a 4-year tenure like you are running a 20-year tenure.
He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism.
Then it gets controversial.
They have a right to their opinion.
Can we, very interesting, gentlemen. Just hold on.
I am about principle and I am about fortune.
Now, you see, let me
say this. So that our soldiers will be free. We should also ask for justification.
Core Digest, your #1 program for current issues.
CoreTV News now live on all Androids.
Hello and welcome. This is CoreTV.
Download CoreTV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
This is what
infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
There is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television, Thursdays 2:30 p.m., NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m., and CoreTV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
From magistrate to high court, from court of appeal to the Supreme Court, we bring you the rulings, judgments on cases involving personalities, institutions, both low and high in the society.
The learned trial judge said he has not even read the processes.
From the way they are going, they will spend 20 days on a witness. I've never seen that kind of proceedings in my life.
Join Basil Okafor on Legal Scope every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. and the repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Legal Scope brings you activities in the judiciary, updating you on in and out of court proceedings. Join me for updates on Legal Scoop on CoreTV News.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will free give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans. We should be praying for him. He's a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV. Leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will free give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans. We should be praying for him. He's a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You must talk to me. You know, this is what we do behind the scene. You are live on. Keep rolling. You must talk to me. You must talk. You must talk.
You
must talk. Now the question is, should Bukola Saraki be impeached or he should resign? Nobody will be.
Impeach or what you say?
Should Bukola Saraki be impeached or resign?
I don't even know. I'm not into it. What's going on in the house?
You don't know what's going on and you're a Nigerian.
Now. I hope you're not doing it. Please.
We are videoing you. Videos on you. Well.
Okay, let me just.
Okay. Should Bukola Saraki be impeached or resign?
I think the best thing for him is to resign.
Okay, you have to face the camera now.
Watch your best. Yes. I think the best thing for him is to resign, because if they impeach him, it will definitely spoil his record. So I think he should tender his resignation.
Why should he resign? You don't know?
I don't know.
Well, typical Nigerian there. Nigerians on the streets are reacting concerning the question whether Bukola Saraki should resign or be impeached by the members of the National Assembly. It's another episode of your daily program, The People. I'm your host, Emmanuel Ajayi. On the street, getting the pulse of Nigerians on topical matters, particularly the National Assembly invasion, the National Assembly quagmire, you may call it any name. Well, let's hit the streets to feel the pulse of Nigerians on this matter. I remain your host, Emmanuel Ajayi. See you more on the street.
From all indications, he should be fired, because the problem we are facing in Nigeria, the major cause is Saraki. So many bills and so many things that are sent to the Senate is not giving those things approval. So to me, I believe the man should just leave this federal government system and go on his own way, because Saraki is not doing anything favorable to Nigerians. That is my own take concerning the issue.
He should just resign and go back home, because these guys, they have nothing to offer the masses, you know.
They're just there. They're just there for themselves. So he should go home and by resigning, he should go home and stay.
Yeah. Should resign.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because of what is going on, and for his name not to be, I don't know. He should resign. I think that's the best way.
You're not telling me why he should resign.
I don't really know what is going on there, although I don't really listen to. I don't know what is on hand now. But for me, what I've been hearing on radio and everything, I think the best way is for him to resign.
Saraki, should not resign. I do get me. There is a reason. Let me tell you one thing. One thing that Nigeria have not realized that Saraki is assisting the masses. Without Saraki coming to power, to that Senate president, would like peace for take Nigeria to do like this. Because it's now they are now coming to their senses. Even the corruption they say they are fighting in Abuja, let me tell you the truth. It's a one-sided. Where are those Babasha Lawal? All those and this okay. Why are they not in the court for so long? You cannot be fighting corruption, you are fighting one side. So he will not resign unless if they want to impeach him, but they get the 2-10% of the that's what our constitution says, isn't also. Or anything less than that is null and void, and Nigeria will not accept. That it could not resign, or unless if they get the 2-10% of the percentage, which is 73 senators to impeach. If not so, Nigeria will resist it. We are one of them that will resist it because his own government himself. These APCs that you see there too. Let me tell you, I always say it. America survived democracy, Ghana enjoyed democracy, but Nigeria we are still suffering of leadership. Why is it like that? See, let me tell you the truth. I'm born in the north. I'm born in Kaduna State, and I school in Kaduna State, and I do everything. And if I tell you some of my background, but what they are doing there is wrong. Let me tell you one thing. Because one, for example, like the Fulani S-man that they refuse to name as a terrorist is bad. You cannot be one-sided leader openly. You are a father to the nation, regardless of that. If a member is a member of PDP, anything, but as long as you have won that presidency, you have to be father of generally.
It is a democratic of the people. It doesn't matter. The constitution does not actually state if it is a ruling party that will be the Senate president or otherwise. So I think the senators who voted him in should be the people to decide his fate. So it's not being impeached or not to be impeached.
I expect him to resign because he should know the appropriate thing to do. If you have to change from one party to the other, what the constitution says is that you should resign your membership of that, position. I get him in now. And so that's what I expect him to do. He knows better. And so the institution should be strengthened. If he refuses to resign himself, he can be impeached. So that's one thing I see.
As far as it's concerned, the economy, nobody can decide to resign his organization without getting a better offer, right? But it's all politics, right? It's all politics. So I don't know what to say, but the question is just two. You said it's either if he should resign or be impeached. If I were to be him, I will resign because the noise is just too much on him. But at the moment, because there's no job outside. You understand? So if he impeached or if he resign, where is he going to?
My worry is during the time of the PDP. Remember that Tambua, who is now the governor of Sokoto State, was the Speaker of House of Reps. And it decamped to APC then, and nobody talked about impeachment. You see, whatever goes round comes round. So it's a turn of the APC people. They should not be impeached because the normal procedure, none of the president on ground is that none of the past senators or House of Rep members have been impeached. I'm sorry, that have been impeached, and there is a high court ruling on that, and so he should not resign. And In fact, they cannot even garner the number of senators to impeach him.
I say, why do you want him to be impeached? As regard what? There should be reason for, movement of impeachment of Saraki.
Are you not current with what is happening in the country?
There are many issues that are going on in the country.
Tell me why he should stay.
As long as his tenure is yet to elapse, he has every right to stay. He has not committed I don't think he has committed any blunder. He hasn't committed any offense that warranted him to be impeached. So he should be allowed to finish his tenure.
Saraki should be fired because it should be a teamwork. And any government that is not working as a team is not a government. Being APC or PDP, Nigeria improvement is all we want. And since he's not being agreed to that, died to stay away for some time, he should be impeached.
So why will he be impeached? Why will he resign? What has he done? What are his offenses? Has he been trying in the law court? So he remains as the Senate president. Yeah, that is it.
Saraki should be fired.
Why do you say so?
It's not fit.
It's too ambitious.
Yeah, it's over ambitious. He should be fired.
Yes. Of course, I have similar reason with my brother. Let him be fired. This is not the type of senator we want at this time. We want the senator that will move Nigeria forward, not the senator that will be selfish. So that is that. Is Saraki selfish? Very, very. Selfish in the sense that what we ask him to do over there, he's not doing it. He's after his own interest. He's self-centered. Let him be fired. We want Nigeria to be better. We don't want people that are self-centered at the top over there. So, for my own opinion, he needs to be fired. I'm seriously annoyed with him. He needs to be fired.
Well, I would advise that he should resign, okay, because he got to be the Senate president on the platform of the APC, and now that he's no longer there, I think it's just honorable enough for him to resign. But I don't think he should be fired or sacked. I don't think that's honorable for him.
I feel he should not do any of it too.
Right.
This is what we need in Nigeria. Should be it's a game already, and let's come be playing it now. They've done politics to game already, so let's just continue playing different style. It's cool.
So what style do you think he's playing now?
I don't know. I don't know the name of this style. I just called it style.
Yes, I used to know him.
You used to know him. That means you don't know him again.
Presently, I don't used to know him.
Why?
Because he had come from APC to PDP. Yeah.
So is that why you don't know him again?
Because never you get alone and never you denied. You should not deny your party.
You should not deny his party?
Yes.
That's why you don't know him again?
Yes, I just denied him because he's not getting contently with his party.
So he be fired, resign, or be
he's not resigned, he's betrayed.
What?
He's betrayed and impeached.
He's what?
He's impeached.
He's impeached?
Yes.
You are the one that impeached Saraki?
Where is the one, but from State of Assembly in ABJ, Abuja, on cordial meeting, they have to impeach him.
You have to impeach him? Yes. But I thought you said he has been impeached already.
Definitely, he has been impeached for 3 days ago left.
The what?
For 4 days ago left, he has been impeached.
He has been impeached?
Yes.
Tell me who are the two that impeach him?
To be precise with you, that Obasanjo is there, Wole Soyinka is there, and not to mention as well.
Okay, these are the people that impeached Saraki?
Yeah.
Obasanjo?
Yes.
And Wole Soyinka? Are you sure?
Definitely.
What you are saying?
Yeah. I'm quite definite.
You are quite definite? Yes. Tell me more people that impeached Saraki.
I can't exaggerate such matter because I'm a quite politician.
You're a politician?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay, what party are you?
Presently, I'm PDP.
You are PDP? So you think Bukola Saraki has been impeached by Obasanjo?
Yeah. He wanted to swap in to PDP, but it's not uncalled for.
So is Bukola Saraki in PDP or APC?
He's an APC gubernatorial.
He's a gubernatorial person?
Yeah, he wanted to prompt for. Yeah, I get what I'm saying. He wanted to prompt for, but we nevertheless of him.
Do you know Buhari?
Buhari is our first presidential governor.
Is it what?
He's our presidential president.
He's our presidential president.
Yeah.
Okay.
They impeached Saraki from abroad.
From abroad?
Yeah.
They impeached Saraki from abroad?
It was from abroad.
The people, the people, the people, giving voice to the voiceless.
Welcome back. This is our Daughter Cutting on your darling program, The People. Nigerians are talking concerning whether the President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, should resign or be impeached. It is expected that Bukola Saraki and other lawmakers will do the needful ahead of the 2019 general elections. Still, I come your way again with another bumper package of your darling program, The People. I remain your indefatigable advocate for the people, Emmanuel Ajayi. God bless you, and God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans.
We should be praying for him. He's a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News Broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV. Leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
The defection of the Benue State Governor Samuel Otom and his Kwara State counterpart Abdul Fattah Ahmed from the All Progressive Congress to the People's Democratic Party has altered the leadership configuration in their respective states. Party leaders within the states have all come in and ensured that the center of the party is still holding every other member of the party together so they can confront the 2019 elections in one whole unity team. From Chibok is the sweet story of 4 of the girls having a university admission after the very terrible experience they suffered when they were kidnapped in 2014. This is Northern Reports, where you're updated on the interesting happenings in the great northern region. I am Usaitin Osadebame, your anchor on the program. Welcome back. There are some cheering news as some of the girls who were kidnapped from Chibok sometime back in 2014 are now students in the high institution. They are being admitted into a university in Adamawa State.
Following the return of peace and normalcy to troubled Northeast where the institution is located, parents, staff and the new students are all excited for what is described as a lifetime opportunity. President of the university speaking at the matriculation ceremony commends the Nigerian military for a successful campaign against Boko Haram insurgency.
Perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love what you're doing and learning to do.
The Vice President, Academic Affairs, Mohammed Kah, encourages the students to brace up for the challenges ahead. He urged them to make good use of the opportunity they have.
All here because we like you. You are here because you earned the right to be here by meeting the minimum standards of our university.
Parents and some of the newly admitted students expressed optimism that the academic year ahead will be fruitful.
American University of Nigeria is really a place to be. It's a very nice development university. You know, one of the very few you can get in the continent.
No doubt that the American style, the standard entrepreneurial skills, she will get them here.
Looking at everything we've seen so far in the orientation, I believe the faculties of a good standard and the environment looks like one you can really learn in and have fun in. So I'm expecting to graduate as a well-rounded student in terms of academics and actually living in the real world after graduation.
The president of the institution adds that 4 of the new students are from the university new foundation school program, organized specially for Chibok girls special education program.
It's politics. As the Benue State Governor Samuel Otom returns his nomination and expression of interest form to the Wadata House National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party. While addressing the press through one of his aides, the governor says he has performed sufficiently to qualify for a second term, and so they are relying on the people to make that good decision.
Our own constitution doesn't even have room for automatic ticket, but the governor, as a sitting governor, has the first right of refusal, as you know. But we are ready to go into the contest with any other person that wants to go in. We are ready to participate in the primaries, and I can assure you that the governor will show a victory. So we are not thinking about even an automatic ticket.
The Senior Special Assistant on Special Duties to the Governor of Benue State, Abraham Kwango, says the people of Benue State and beneficiaries of the governor's performance in education, infrastructure, health and other areas will vote for the governor. According to him, the leadership of the party are at peace with the governor and will garner the needed support for the party.
The doors of the parties are always wide open, and decisions to enter the party are taken by individuals. The governor decided, after full consultation with the people of Benue State and the leadership of PDP, both at the national level and at the state level, to come back to PDP. This is a party he founded, was a founding member, was national auditor of this party, was also a serving minister under this party. But because of one thing or the other, he was sojourned into another party, but decided to come back home.
Senior Special Assistant to the Benue State Governor on Special Duties also notes that the party will not grant automatic tickets to anyone, as interested aspirants are to contest the primaries to produce a popular candidate to lead the state into prosperity. He argues that the governor has been on the side of the people and the people acknowledge this. Arit A. Fan, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The return of Samuel Otom from the All Progressive Congress to the People's Democratic Party has set an internal wrangling within the People's Democratic Party in the state. However, the intervention of the elders, calling on all parties to look at the interests of Benue State and the People's Democratic Party as they forge ahead towards the 2019 election, has also calmed frayed nerves, it seems.
I want to welcome all members of PDP into the new capital of Government House. There will be no more Otom PDP, there will be no more Dikman PDP, there will be no more Gamale PDP, there will be no more Susan PDP, there will be no more Yojali PDP. PDP is now one under the leadership of the pride of His Excellency, the Governor of Benue State.
Responding, the former Senate President David Mark says he is happy attending a meeting after so many years. He says now that everything has been resolved, the party will move stronger towards 2019 without doubt of reclaiming its mandate both at the state and federal level.
I think the chairman has done a great job by officially handing over the party to the leader of the party who is the governor of Benue. On that note, therefore, with confidence, I say, Your Excellency, the governor of Benue State.
Governor Autumn thanks all and says he will work with the other aspirants while assuring them that he will not use his position as the governor and party leader to undermine anyone.
I want to appreciate and thank the leadership, the party chairman, and all of you that are here, and particularly members of PDP for the opportunity accorded to me. And say that I accepted the mantle of leadership.
As our leader has said, we've had to meet severally both in Abuja and yesterday here. And we arrived at certain decisions. You know, in the process of addressing issues in life, at times hard decisions are taken. They might be temporarily unpleasant to some people, but in the long term, they will address the problems.
The meeting has former Senate President David Mark, Yosha Ayu, Senator Barnabas, other stakeholders, National and State House of Assembly members in attendance.
The experience in Benue State also played out in Kwara State, where the governor has assured members of the party and the leaders who met that they all are going to have an inclusive approach to ensure that everyone has a fair share and a fair deal in the party as they head towards the 2019 general elections.
Governor Ahmed promises to strengthen the state's economy, infrastructure, and human capital development with a view to accelerating socio-economic growth of Kwara State. The governor explains that the composition of the new executive committee further demonstrates the party's leadership commitment to an inclusive process carrying all groups along.
Your coming here is a showcase of a well-demonstrated inclusive process in governance, inclusive process in politicking, and inclusive process in association. And with the current party, will ensure that every program of the state is carried on accordingly, and it will ensure that the next level of government at state level must be produced by the PDP to ensure that.
The new Central Working Committee of PDP in Kwara State discloses that the committee is composed of old and returning members with all groups carried along.
The relationship between us and old members of the PDP and the new entrants from the great Saraki dynasty has been very cordial. It has been a case of mutual respect and trust all the way. We have found in Dr. Bukola Saraki, CON, an honest, straightforward, and fair leader. Instead of hijacking the party, as Oyedepo and his few other prophesied, the Senate President has indeed left the control of the party in the hands of all stakeholders.
According to them, the Senate President demonstrated fair play in selection of executives and ensured that both old and new members are all involved in the process.
Let's take a break at this point. When we return, we'll be talking about the promise of a police commissioner who has resumed duty in Benue State.
Hi, I am Anete Patrick, host of your program Abuja Today, that brings you highlights of happenings in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory from the Office of the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
I appeal to all of us citizens, leaders, politicians, and all to support this team to be able to restore the Abuja Master Plan.
To the streets that involves every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, and every youth on the streets, unfolding of happenings in the nation's capital territory.
Our challenge here is kidnapping, and the secret is there. It's a very short journey. You don't have to go as far as Abaji before you know what is happening in Kuji.
All of us, we don't know, in short, we don't know where to put head, because definitely our children, they are hungry.
So join me at this time on CoreTV as we take you all on Nigerian seat of power.
Welcome back. A new commissioner of police has resumed duty in Benue State, his new duty post, and he's assuring the state government and the people of Benue State that activities of the Nigerian police in Benue State will be intelligence-driven and nothing more. And this is going to be done to promote the safety of the people and also ensure peace within Benue State.
The Benue State Commissioner of Police states that the success of security operations in the state, which led to a relatively peaceful environment, will not have been possible without the support of the governor. He promises to adopt effective community policing, intelligence gathering, and proactive approaches to ensure the reduction of crime in the state to the lowest level, stressing that no meaningful development can take place in an insecure environment.
I am going to establish a dedicated community policing unit in all the local governments in Benue. That is what I've been directed to do. And within the next 2 to 3, 4 weeks, a workshop is going to be organized where we will take community policing ideals to the traditional rulers, the youth, women, and our local people. My approach is going to be mostly proactive.
Governor Autumn expresses optimism that the new police commissioner would bring his experience as someone who is familiar with the Benue terrain, as well as a graduate from the War College, to tackle the security challenges in the state.
We have issues like you have rightly pointed out, you are not a stranger in our land, you know the security issues, the criminal elements, you even know them, even by name, and where they come from and what they are doing already to the people. The local criminality that is going on about kidnappings and armed robberies and killings. But like you said, and I want to agree with you that you have the capacity to contend with them. I want to assure you that within our limited resources, we will do everything to support you to ensure we provide security for lives and property.
The governor also commends the Inspector General of Police for transferring the immediate past Commissioner of Police for supporting impunity and lawlessness, adding that such officers give the force a bad image.
As aspirants troop to the Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party in Kaduna State to pick their forms, the party leadership is assuring all aspirants that the party is going to conduct a free, fair elections and ensure that the primaries is credible, such that whoever emerges will be the success candidate for the party as they field them in the 2019 general elections.
As the 2019 general elections draw near, the number of aspirants seeking various elective positions is on the increase. The People's Democratic Party in Kaduna State says it will ensure justice and fairness to all aspirants, as the party will not place anyone ahead of the others during its party primary election.
Everybody knows PDP now in Kaduna State and in the country in general. When we promised people a free and fair elections in the last primary and the local government elections, we kept to our words. And everybody felt satisfied. Nobody will really receive any petition from anywhere on wrong conduct or manipulations. No.
He calls on party members to work hard towards ensuring that the People's Democratic Party takes over power in Kaduna and the nation at large.
The position remains unchanged. Free, fair, credible primaries.
Workers of the Kwara State radio stations have taken to the street, protesting what they describe as an abandonment of both welfare of staffers and even infrastructural and work facility. These, they say, must change so that this radio station can provide the people of Kwara and its government the service it is mandated to so do.
Displaying placards with various inscriptions urging the state governor to come to their aid and rescue the station from diminution due to unfriendly working condition, the NUJ chairman, Radio Kwara, and his staff laments decay in its station's infrastructure and more.
The entire workforce in Radio Kwara are fed up of the poor condition of our service. Our environment is not at all healthy for working. In fact, most of our people that are working at far end, Budref over there, are just, their life is a danger one. They are just playing with snakes. Even in the studio, snakes do come there to harass them. That is not, if people are misconstruing us for either salary or it, we are not fighting for salary, but poor condition of work. Here in Radio Kwara, we don't have any operational vehicle.
We feel that the government does not want to listen to us, and we are made to believe that there is an agenda somewhere that is not open to anyone. The Radio Kwara, holistically, the Radio Kwara is being abandoned. There is a form of window dressing in the repositioning. We can see few things around, that they buy the chairs, the things that are not needed.
The senior special assistant to the governor on media pleads with the staff to understand the economic situation as the governor will continue to provide the needs of the workers.
I also want to recognize the passion of those workers because they are interested in the efficient running of their station that they have decided to protest. As far as I'm aware, the issues are regarding their operational expenses. Now we are all aware that the reason for this is the economic challenges the country is facing. Allocation to all tiers of government have dropped. They are just recently going up gradually. And the government of Alhaji Fattah Ahmed has prioritized salaries as first line charge. So it's only after salaries have been paid that we can look after the operational needs of the media houses or any of the other 29 parastatals in the state.
We'll be taking our second break at this point. Please do not forget to reach us on callburex@gmail.com as it is scrolling on the screen.
Democracy allows for fair hearing. This is reckless. This is ungodly.
When news break, we engage experts in critical analysis.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
This administration will succeed and succeed well.
You cannot be running a 4-year tenure like you are running a 20-year tenure.
He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism is concerned.
Then it gets controversial.
They have a right to their opinion. Can we, very interesting gentlemen, just hold on.
I am about principle and I am about fortune.
Now, you see, let me
say this.
So that our soldiers will be free, we should also ask for justification.
Core Digest, your #1 program for current issues.
The judiciary, third arm of government. What happens here is what we give to you. The arraignments, arguments, rulings, adjournments of cases and judgments. The fight against corruption and issues bordering on human rights violations.
The doctrine of least spenders ought to have been respected, that no arm of government, however powerful, should take the laws into its hands as held by the Supreme Court.
Justice is one way. It's either you go for justice or justice go after you. But I've never seen a situation where an individual is afraid of justice.
We move from court to court to give you updates on legal matters, when they happen and where they are happening, going extra miles to get reactions from the parties, even when they're not in the mood to speak.
No comment. Talk to my lawyer.
Watch Legal Scope on CoreTV News at this time.
electorates in Kwara State who are desirous of good governance have been counseled to go out and pick their voters card after registration, because the permanent voters card is the strongest tool with which they can ensure that they get good governance through election of a candidate of their choice whom they believe can deliver such services to them. Now this reminds us of the old song which goes this way: your vote, now your power, no throw away a mo. Person where they cry, no they see road do. This is a call to every one of us as the 2019 general election comes up. We all who have registered must go out to pick the permanent voters card and then pick a candidate of our choice that will advance the interests of this great region and then Nigeria in general.
The group under the aegis of Save Kwara storms the streets on a march for good governance and political liberation in Kwara State. Chairman of the group, Niyi Abioye, charges Kwarans to obtain their PVC in order to elect the government that will meet the yearning of the people and vote out the government of one-man business in the state.
So this morning, we are sensitizing Kwara about the current registration by INEC. We want Kwarans to get registered so that at the end of the day, they will be able to perform their civic rights for the enthronement of good governance in the states.
A member also laments the poor state of infrastructure in the state, saying a new government must emerge to bring a desired government that Kwarans deserve.
How can we justify the debt profile of this state with no level of development, with no meaningful development to show for it? It is unfair.
In his reaction, the Senior Special Assistant on Media, Muhyiddin Akorede, says Kwara State had witnessed tremendous infrastructural development since the inception of Bukola Saraki as a governor up till the present governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, saying Kwara is not underdeveloped.
A lot of infrastructure was done in roads, electricity and water. It is not true that this Saraki dynasty that's holding down Kwara. What the Saraki system, as we understand it, has done is actually democratized and broadened access to governance in terms of participation and patronage. You don't have to be the son of anybody.
These are the week's package of Northern Reports. I am Osaitino Sadibame, your regular anchor on the program. Please keep a date with us next week for another edition of the program. And do not forget to send us your mail, callburex@gmail.com. Bye now.
So what is 60 Minutes with Angela all about? It's not an interview. I like to think it's a conversation between two people making the news, people who are in the news, and those who become the news. And the whole idea is to inform, to educate, or to clarify, as the case may be. It is an art getting people to answer the questions that everyone is thinking in their minds. And that's what we try to do on 60 Minutes with Angela. I ask all the questions that everyone's thinking about and no one wants to voice. All the questions you always wanted to ask, you get those answers on 60 Minutes with Angela. Every week on this station, 60 Minutes with Angela, getting answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Hi, I am Anete Patrick, host of your program Abuja Today, that brings you highlights of happenings in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory from the Office of the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
I appeal to all of us citizens, leaders, politicians, and all to support this team to be able to restore the Abuja Master Plan.
To the streets that involves every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, and every youth on the streets unfolding of happenings in the nation's capital territory.
Our challenge here is kidnapping, and the secret is there. It's a very short journey. You don't have to go as far as Abaji before you know what is happening in Kuji.
All of us, we don't know, in short, we don't know where to put head, because definitely our children, they are hungry.
So join me at this time on CoreTV as we take you on a tour on Nigerian seat of power.
Democracy allows for fair hearing. This is reckless. This is ungodly.
When news break, we engage experts in critical analysis.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
This administration will succeed and succeed well. You cannot be running a 4-year tenure like you are running a 20-year tenure.
He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism.
Then it gets controversial.
They have a right to their opinion. Can we, very interesting gentlemen, just hold on.
I am about principle and I am about fortune.
Now, you see, let me say this.
So that our soldiers will be free. We should also ask for justification.
Core Digest, your #1 program for current issues.
CoreTV News now live on all Androids.
Hello and welcome. This is CoreTV.
Download CoreTV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
This is what
infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
There is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television Thursdays 2:30 p.m, NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m, and CoreTV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
From magistrate to high court, from court of appeal to the Supreme Court, we bring you the rulings, judgments on cases involving personalities, institutions, both low and high in the society.
The learned trial judge said he has not even read the processes.
From the way they are going, they will spend 20 days on a witness. I've never seen that kind of proceedings in my life.
Join Basil Okafor on Legal Scope every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. and the repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Legal Scope brings you activities in the judiciary, updating you on in and out of court proceedings. Join me for updates on Legal Scope on CoreTV News.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will free give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans.
We should be praying for him. He's a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The people giving voice to the voiceless. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News Broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. and Facebook. Click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome to another edition of Core Health. My name is Zibironke Ira Lovigbe. On today's program, we'll be talking antenatal care. Antenatal care, also known as prenatal care, has been proven to reduce maternal mortality and mobility. It also allows for risk identification to prevent or identify and treat any condition that may threaten the health of the baby or the mother. Our guest for today is a specialist obstetrician gynecologist, Deji Omolono, who will give us insight to what antenatal care is all about, benefits of antenatal to pregnant women, and diseases associated to pregnancy, which pregnant women should watch out for. Stay tuned.
So antenatal care is a care given to pregnant women to ensure best health condition for the mother and baby during pregnancy, and so to say to ensure a safe motherhood. Ante is simply a prefix, and that's like before, and natal means birth. So antenatal care is care given to women before birth, that is during pregnancy. It actually involves 4 major components, which includes risk identification. That is, you want to grade these women whether they are ones of low risk or high risk, because normally pregnancy is a physiological condition. Back in those days, if there's no problem with pregnancy, a woman can progress also pregnancy without intervention. But for the little fraction that can develop complications, that is why antenatal care is quite very important. And the thing is, you cannot by maybe a person's habitus or weight or maybe well-being to say, oh, this person, if you are pregnant now, everything will go well for you. So anything can change in pregnancy. So that's why it's important. The second component, aside risk identification, it's prevention and treatment of pregnancy-related conditions and also concurrent diseases, which can include hypertension in pregnancy, diabetes in pregnancy. People can even have background asthma in pregnancy. There are also other conditions like malaria in pregnancy, HIV in pregnancy, hepatitis in pregnancy. Aside that, sure, also have urinary tract infection in pregnancy and respiratory tract infection in pregnancy. So all these conditions, if not treated, can lead to adverse outcome for the mother, likewise the baby. And aside that, also health education and health promotion is likewise important, in which you want to tell them about what to eat in pregnancy, exercise involved in pregnancy, avoiding common habits. Some smoke, some take a lot of alcohol. So all these things have adverse effects in pregnancy. So these are the core involvements of core components of antenatal care. As I said, risk identification, prevention and treatment of pregnancy-related and concurrent diseases, and also health education and health promotion.
For the pregnant women in the house, it's important to take antenatal care serious because its benefits cannot be underestimated, especially for the safety of your baby and you during and after delivery. Before we hear more on this, let's take a short break.
Coming together of opportunity
This is what
Infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
there is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television Thursdays 2:30 p.m., NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m., and CoreTV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
Welcome back. For those who are just joining us on the program, our topic for today is antenatal care, and we have been talking with a specialist obstetrician gynecologist, Deji Omolono, who will tell us what we need to know about what happens during the trimesters of pregnancy. Please join us. Let's look at the trimesters we have in pregnancy.
Okay.
The first,
the second and the third. Yes.
What are the things to watch out for during this trimester?
All right. That's a good question. As you said, the trimesters are for convenience broken into 3, and that is what the focus antenatal care actually tried to catch, in which the first visit is said to be between the 8 to 12 weeks. The second visit is between 24 to 26 weeks. The third visit is between 32 weeks, and the last visit is between 36 to 38 weeks. However, the visits can be more if there are complications that arises. Now, the first trimester is between conception, that's from when the patient gets pregnant, to the 13th week. The second trimester is between 13 weeks and the 26th week, while the third trimester is between the 26th week and the 39th week. Because averagely you expect a pregnancy to last at least 40 weeks, plus or minus 2 weeks. So the first trimester, it is very important that, because as I said, it's one of the most important parts, because that is where the baby actually forms. So drugs, external interference, probably raise, medications, lifestyle, ought to be carefully monitored in this first 13, because that is where the baby forms, the heart, the brain. If you can see this like this, this schema, just showing the development of the fetus, So between the 5th and that 13, between the 8th, 7th day and the 13th week, that is when that embryogenesis and organogenesis takes place. So that period is very critical. And when a woman presents in the hospital at this time, you want to date the pregnancy. That is, because another problem in this environment is that women come in when they are late. And the best time to date a pregnancy is usually between the 9th and the 13th week, in which you can use the crown rump length. So at that time, most women will not even know when they get pregnant, because most pregnancies are not planned. So, and for you to avoid post-date pregnancy, which has its own complications, because a week difference between knowing when a woman gets pregnant or not can determine whether that baby comes out alive or not. Because at the later part of pregnancy, the placenta function has started reducing, which is the one that supplies nutrients to the baby. So dating is a key component of the first trimester. And also, you want to start them on folate drugs. That is folic acid, which is very important for neural tube development. So women need to, as soon as they get pregnant, they should just visit the hospital. Not like you're going to do them anything special. Just do a basic scan, know your blood group, and start taking your antenatal medications. And you now identify your risk factors, so that in case you need to see you more frequently, or you need to go to a specialized level of care. Now, in the second trimester, now the baby is formed, baby is growing. In this part of pregnancy, that is when you now start having the common medical conditions start rearing up its head, because the placenta is formed, and majorly issues of placenta function or issue of metabolism or weight and all comes into play. So in that place, after the 28th week, you now start having, we can ask categorize, say, okay, if the woman was not hypertensive before that time, before 20 weeks, you can answer, and for example, hypertensive now, you can answer that patient has what we call gestational hypertension. That is pregnancy in hypertension in pregnancy, and we now start looking out for protein in the urine, which is not supposed to be there, because protein is a large molecule, so it's not supposed to pass through the basement membrane of the kidney. So once it starts passing through, you now start getting when you start having proteinuria and hypertension, you now call it preeclampsia, which is a multi-systemic disease and a disease of progression. So in that kind of age, they need close monitoring. So in second trimester, you want to monitor them for pregnancy-induced hypertension. You want to also, if patients has a risk factor for diabetes, you want to screen them again. You want to do your oral glucose tolerance test for them. You want to also screen them for anemia, and also ensure that they are taking their medications. Then also, the another component of the first which they call the birth planning and emergency preparedness, in which you want to, the woman takes a decision, on, okay, she knows her dating. She knows where she wants to deliver. She knows who wants to deliver her. And it's very advised that a woman should be delivered by a skilled birth attendant, which means a nurse, a midwife, or a medical doctor. Then apart from that, she wants to make emergency funds available. When in case she has complications or falls into labor, who takes her to the hospital, who transports her. All those factors, because these are the factors that occur. That you find a woman, maybe they rupture their water. That in the drain like her, and the husband is not at home. They keep waiting till the husband comes back home, and at the end of the day, probably they expel on the floor of the house, the baby dies, or the mother also starts bleeding. So facts like that is what has been inculcated, into this focal antenatal care, which makes it more engaging and involving the husband, the woman, and the doctor. So, and also now we're talking about the third trimester. We now talk about, we want to check for malpresentation. As I told you that 3 to 4% of babies eventually end up as breech. So you want to know whether the baby is coming with the head. At that point, that's between at 36 to 38, we want to confirm baby coming, so that you know, okay, this baby, we can still go ahead with vaginal delivery. If the woman has delivered before, vaginally, if she's probably a second pregnant or third pregnancy, she's coming with a breech, you can still go ahead and deliver vaginally. But if it's a first timer, you want to advise her for cesarean section. So all those factors, you want to also screen her for anemia again, because anemia is a very common, complication of pregnancy in this environment, because women caused by low intake of iron. No, iron containing foods. And if you eat very well, women don't even need to take as much iron supplements. But find out in this environment, even ab initio before pregnancy, the woman is even already anemic. That is, she does her menstrual period, she's not eating enough, due to and now in pregnancy there's increased maternal red cell mass, there's plasma volume expansion, So a woman that is very probably borderline, that 30% before, when she gets pregnant, she can fall to 26%, which is not good for the baby. So that's why, as I said, preconception counseling is very important. You have checked her, she's fit to get pregnant, she now gets pregnant. So we have to check. So that's why if the woman PCV is low, we start telling her to use ferrous, which is a supplementation, so as to boost the baby, to ensure good weight for the baby, and also prevent, complications in the mother, like uterine atony that can lead to postpartum hemorrhage, when the woman falls into labor.
Let's take a short break now. I'll be right back.
The judiciary, third arm of government. What happens here is what we give to you. The arraignments, arguments, rulings, adjournments of cases and judgments. The fight against corruption and issues bordering on human rights violations.
The doctrine of least spenders ought to have been respected, that no arm of government, however powerful, should take the laws into his hands as held by the Supreme Court.
Justice is one way. It's either you go for justice or justice go after you. But I've never seen a situation where an individual is afraid of justice.
We move from court to court to give you updates on legal matters, when they happen and where they are happening, going extra miles to get reactions from the parties, even when they're not in the mood to speak.
No comment. Talk to my lawyer.
Watch Legal Scope on CoreTV News at this time.
Now, let's look at supplements to be taken during pregnancy and some words of advice for pregnant women out there.
Yes.
The water that comes out before delivery.
Okay.
Can you talk more on that? Why most times some men will say they are water broke for delivery? The water causes of how.
Okay.
And what's the essence? What's the idea of that water?
Okay. All right. So water breaking is what we call rupture of membranes. You know, the membranes, the baby is protected, you know, in the amniotic sac by the membrane, and the water, the amniotic fluid, serves as a cushion for the baby in pregnancy, allows it to move, you know, and also grow grow normally, turn, grow accordingly, and all. And it's actually the amniotic fluid is actually from fetal urine. The fetus passes urine, and you know, and eventually it forms the amniotic fluid. So any problem with probably kidney function of the baby, or probably the swallowing reflex of the baby, swallowing reflex of the baby, because the baby also should be able to swallow that fluid, because it's just bathing in that fluid. So even if a woman also probably accidentally falls down or eats her tummy, that amniotic fluid, you know, that water that I say breaks, is the one that cushions the baby against external aggression, rather than external force. So it's like a cushion for the baby. So anything that reduces that fluid, you know, is a risk for that baby. So that's why in pregnancy we talk about, probably a woman starts complaining that the baby is not kicking well, you can say she can do a biophysical profile, going to check, because anytime the baby, that fluid is reduced, it's a warning sign for that baby. So when there are many causes of that water to break, you know, it's called the premature rupture of membrane. Premature rupture of membrane is rupture of membrane at any gestational age before labor. So because we expect that is when, you know, contraction starts, then the water should break on its own and labor progresses. But if that water ruptures, if the amniotic sac or amniotic membrane breaks, you know, before labor and baby is before time, then we say it's a premature rupture of membrane, or preterm pre-labor rupture of membrane, you know. And the commonest cause is infection. Understand? Ascending infection from the genital tract, you know. Some women, you know, they're still involved in the polygamy, so the husband can probably involve in maybe extramarital affair, so give the woman infection, you know. So any infection that colonizes the genital tract can ascend and weaken the tensile strength of that membrane. That sac is very thick, but with infection it can get weak. So when a woman starts having discharge, you know, yellowish discharge, or any discharge that is normally of the normal physiologic, you know, discharge that is just like normal milky white, you know, kind of thing, your plain white, just transparent white, yes, patients should, you know, come to the hospital so that we can treat. And even malaria or untreated infection can also cause rupture of membrane. And also women that are probably they have multiple pregnancies, because in this era we have in vitro fertilization, in which you have women that can carry twin pregnancy, triple pregnancy. That also reduces the distensibility, that is how the womb can get big. So it can also lead to rupture of membrane. So, but whenever a water breaks at any point, it is an emergency, and that woman should present in the hospital.
Can the water break anytime? Is it from the second trimester or the third trimester?
Yes, it can break at any time. Second trimester. No, in the first trimester, most times before, you know, we usually categorize it based on age of viability. Okay. You know, in this viability is 28 weeks. You know, so if the water, and age of viability means that the chances that baby can survive outside the womb, you know, the age that baby can say that, okay, from 28 weeks, we can say that if baby is even born at this time, the pediatricians or the neonatologists can take over the baby in the incubator and still make the baby grow to term. Understand? But if the baby gets born before 28 weeks in this environment, we still classify that baby like an abortion. Understand? So, but if the water now breaks after 28 weeks, now we can now call it a preterm rupture of membrane. And eventually, if baby, we can do a conservative management, between that 28 and 34 weeks to allow for fetal long maturity. And because eventually, once that water is not there, the place will be hostile to the baby, and eventually the baby will come out. But the little time that we can buy to allow the lungs to mature, we give relevant drugs like corticosteroids we can give. And when the baby now comes out eventually, we can now hand over to the pediatrician, having involved them at the time that the baby has a ruptured membrane, or we treat for infections and all. So, but from 28 weeks to 10, rupture of membrane baby can be treated as a baby. You understand? Because before 28 weeks, chances of that baby surviving is very slim. But abroad, in developed countries, they can still, like in America, their own age of viability is 20 weeks. In UK, it's 24 weeks. So a baby born at 24 weeks in UK can be saved. Though can not be referred to as a premature. It's a premature delivery, but can still be taken care of to the parent that will be discharged home, but we can still have some residual issues, because we say that the womb is the best environment for the baby.
Now, so all women out there, especially for pregnant women, what they should know about.
Okay. It is said that health is the highest social capital for a nation, and a country that makes health, very important, is more economically viable. I would ask pregnant women to put their lives, that their destiny is in their hands. Antenatal care is cheap and is affordable. They should make use of the opportunity so that they will have, a healthy baby and also a healthy mother. Because it's not enough to have a baby that is not healthy. And antenatal care is good for them to prevent all these, unnecessary deaths for mother and child in pregnancy. So all our cultures, our religious leaders, to help us, tell them more that once a woman is pregnant, she should come to the hospital to book early, so that we'll be able to stratify her and monitor her accordingly, so that we'll have a healthy nation for mother, child, and fathers. Thank you very much.
If you're pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant, it is important you don't smoke or be around secondhand smoke. Don't drink and get enough rest. It's also important to get essential nutrients like folic acid, calcium, and iron from the very start. Staying active is important for your general health and can help you reduce stress, control your weight, improve circulation, boost your mood, and make you sleep better. Well, we've come to the end of today's program. Do join us next week for another interesting topic on your health. My name is Zibironke Ireluvigbe. Bye for now.
So what is 60 Minutes with Angela all about? It's not an interview. I like to think it's a conversation between two people making the news, people who are in the news, and those who become the news. And the whole idea is to inform, to educate, or to clarify, as the case may be. It is an art getting people to answer the questions that everyone is thinking in their minds. And that's what we try to do on 60 Minutes with Angela. I ask all the questions that everyone's thinking about and no one wants to voice. All the questions you always wanted to ask, you get those answers on 60 Minutes with Angela. Every week on this station, 60 Minutes with Angela, getting answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Hi, I am Anete Patrick, host of your program Abuja Today, that brings you highlights of happenings in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory from the Office of the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
I appeal to all of us citizens, leaders, politicians, and all to support this team to be able to restore the Abuja Master Plan.
to the streets that involves every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, and every youth on the streets, unfolding of happenings in the nation's capital territory.
Our challenge here is kidnapping, and the secret is there. It's a very short journey. You don't have to go as far as Abaji before you know what is happening in Kuji.
All of us, we don't know, in short, we don't know where to put head. Because definitely our children, they are hungry.
So join me at this time on CoreTV as we take you on a tour on Nigerian seats of power.
So what is 60 Minutes with Angela all about? It's not an interview. I like to think it's a conversation between two people making the news, people who are in the news, and those who become the news. And the whole idea is to inform, to educate, or to clarify, as the case may be. It is an art getting people to answer the questions that everyone is thinking in their minds. And that's what we try to do on 60 Minutes with Angela. I ask all the questions that everyone's thinking about and no one wants to voice. All the questions you always wanted to ask, you get those answers on 60 Minutes with Angela. Every week on this station, 60 Minutes with Angela, getting answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Hi, I am Anete Patrick, host of your program Abuja Today, that brings you highlights of happenings in Nigerian's Federal Capital Territory from the Office of the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
I appeal to all of us citizens, leaders, politicians, and all to support this team to be able to restore the Abuja Master Plan.
To the streets that involves every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, and every youth on the streets, unfolding of happenings in the nation's capital territory.
Our challenge here is kidnapping, and the secret is there. It's a very short journey. You don't have to go as far as Abaji before you know what is happening in Kuji.
All of us, we don't know, in short, we don't know where to put head. Because definitely our children, they are hungry.
So join me at this time on CoreTV as we take you on a tour on Nigerian seats of power.
Democracy allows for fair hearing. This is reckless. This is ungodly.
When news break, we engage experts in critical analysis.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
This administration will succeed and succeed well.
You cannot be running a 4-year tenure like you are running a 20-year tenure.
He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism.
Then it gets controversial.
They have a right to their opinion. Can we, very interesting gentlemen, just hold on.
I am about principle and I am about fortune.
Now, you see, let me say this.
So that our soldiers will be free, we should also ask for justification.
Core Digest, your #1 program for current issues.
CoreTV News now live on all Androids.
Hello and welcome. This is CoreTV.
Download CoreTV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
This is what
infrastructure is the backbone of development, which explains the Buhari government's effort at bridging the facility gap. Infrastructure Weekly is a television package designed to bring you latest information on hundreds of development projects going on in various sectors all over the nation.
There is no state in Nigeria today where you will not see our contractors busy at work.
Power generation, rural electrification, road rehabilitations, national housing scheme, construction of roads and rail lines across the country, you name it.
We are now able to produce 7,000 megawatt of power. That is no longer debatable.
Infrastructure Weekly is Nigerians working together for a better Nigeria. So be better informed to take better informed decisions. Watch Infrastructure Weekly, showing on Channels Television Thursdays 2:30 p.m., NTA Network Wednesdays 5 p.m., and CoreTV News Fridays at 8 p.m. Infrastructure Weekly, making development known.
From magistrate to high court, from court of appeal to the Supreme Court, we bring you the rulings, judgments on cases involving personalities, institutions, both low and high in the society.
The learned trial judge said he has not even read the processes.
From the way they are going, they will spend 20 days on a witness. I've never seen that kind of proceedings in my life.
Join Basil Okafor on Legal Scope every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. and the repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Legal Scope brings you activities in the judiciary, updating you on in and out of court proceedings. Join me for updates on Legal Scope on CoreTV News.
If you are not idle, nobody will probably come and encourage you to join their gang or the group.
Yes. To keep Nigeria one is a must that must be done. Nigeria is not going to break.
So if I want to buy this one now, how much you go sell this one?
I will free give you 500.
Sure? This one?
Yes.
This small banana?
Yes.
I know that Buhari can do it. He has a lot of plans.
We should be praying for him. He's a human being. Anything can happen to anybody.
The majority of the law they pass belong to them, to favor them, not the masses in Nigeria.
If we want to change, let's change generally. Don't let's change half. Let's change generally.
The people giving voice to the voiceless. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News Broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. And Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Thank you so much for joining us on CoreTV News on this hour. I'm Emmanuel Aja. Here at the news, we're filing at this time 2 persons are found dead in a robbery attack on the First Generation Bank in Igede, Ekiti, the headquarters of the Rekpo Doing Felodun local government area of Ekiti State. In an operation which reportedly lasted over 1 hour, it was learned that the robbers killed a bank security and a bank worker. Another bank worker was reportedly shot in the arm by the bandits, and some indigents are injured. The armed robbers reportedly invaded the bank around 5 p.m. on Wednesday and broke the security door with dynamite before entering the bank hall. The robbers reportedly stole an unspecified amount of money. The bank is located along the King Streets of the town. And away from that, President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris to stop the invitation of Ademola Adeleke, the PDP governorship aspirant, in the 22nd September 2018 gubernatorial election in Osun State, to the force headquarters to answer questions on malpractices, corruption, and all forms of impersonation, breach of duty, aiding and abetting against him. The presidency source will pleaded anonymity confirmed this development to a journalist. According to the source, Buhari ordered that Adeleke should not be invited until after Saturday's election. The police public relations officer Juma Moshood had, in a statement, invited Adeleke and 4 others, namely Sikiru Adeleke, Aregbesola Muftau, principal of Ojo Aro Community Grammar School and Egbedore local government area of Osun State, Agbada Mosi, Thomas Ojo, school staff responsible for the registration of candidates for NECO, Dari Olutokpe, the school teacher who facilitated the commission of the crime to report to the Special Investigation Panel Force headquarters in Abuja immediately for arraignment in court. The People's Democratic Party in Osun State have described the invitation of the governorship candidate Ademola Adeleke by the police as a threat to democracy. Our correspondent Olasukomi Ogumoko reports that the Director General of Adeleke campaign group, Larry Oyewumi, told journalists at a country home that the police is supposed to be neutral on all matters. He condemned the act, asking why he would be invited after WAEC had exonerated him, stating that he actually sat for the examination at the Ede Muslim Grammar School in 1981. He commented President Muhammadu Buhari for his invitation on halting the invitation by the police, stating that democracy should be allowed to thrive and not truncated.
The police action today by inviting the senator, some even said it was declared wanted by the police. You see, this is like taking the poor man to the public court. And within 2 hours, more than 1,000 people have phoned him. What is still happening? Why are they doing this? And that is like a way of campaigning against him. I will take serious offense at this from Nigerian police. The police should not be seen to be dangling in the muddy water of politics. They should be seen to stand above board. I want to advise them on behalf of the PDP of Osun State and the campaign organization of Senator Ademola Adeleke. The police should stay clear. The other parties or whoever is behind this should go and campaign against him on what he has done or what he failed to do. He's a serving senator in Nigeria now. He had pledges he made to the people while campaigning. They should accuse him on that. If he has failed them, they should tell the people. Because if he has satisfied them, they cannot stop them from voting him again. That is the case that we are seeing here as a party. We appreciate the intervention of Mr. President and the presidency on this kind of sensitive matter, because this is kind of thing that can tarnish the image, not only of Mr. President, but of the country. Because we have been watched. All the other countries, the whole world saw what happened in Ekiti State. The president may not know about it, but some other people use the name of the president and presidency to cause confusion, and the country will be blamed for it.
The DG Adeleke campaign organization there, Larry Oyewumi, an FCT High Court in Warrior has confirmed that the People's Democratic Party candidate for the Osun State governorship election slated to hold